Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Holly's Garage. This really isn't a big episode or anything. I'm not doing much, but I figure I'd walk you around one of these things. It's a little Chinese mini skid and little skid track machine, whatever you want to call it. These things are they're dirt cheap for the most part. I mean, you can pick them up on Marketplace for like $5 grand, $6 grand, and for what they are, I think they're worth the money. But obviously, when you get into something like this, you're going to have to be somewhat mechanically inclined and figure out how to work on these things yourself, because they're not going to be perfect. And so yeah, I figured I'd just show you a walk around of this. I'm going to change a few little things on this. I'm going to adjust one of the tracks. One's tight, the other one's a little looser. I'll tighten that up, show you how to do that, and that's it really. But yeah, I'll just show you a quick walk around of these things. All right, so this model's a NMK60. It's made by NKL, which I don't know what any of that means. So this is your fuel tank. The fuel gauge doesn't work in it because I guess the float's not hooked up properly or something. This thing has 3 hours on it. It's literally brand new from the factory, basically. They didn't have a choke hooked up on these things, so you have to manually just move that choke over. It's a little Rado motor, it's called. It's a 420 Rado, which is equivalent to like the Predator series motors that Harbor Freight has. And then the main thing I'm going to do on this, that's all I'm going to do on this really, is just change the, just tighten up a track, this one here. And how you do that, you back this bolt off, and then you just tighten up this threaded rod here, and that pushes your idler out up front here. So tighten that up pretty easily. And the other thing I'm going to do on this quick, and actually when I got this, there's no fuel in the thing when they ship it. So I've filled it up with fuel, and then I see a little fuel leak. So I pull this off, pulled the tank off. The tank was welded. It's a welded tank, but they didn't completely weld it tight. So it was leaking out of like a tiny pinhole. So I pulled the tank, ground it all, and then welded that section they missed from the factory, I guess. The other problem is they have the exhaust mount set up. Well, there is no mount. So the exhaust just runs inside the frame and echoes off the frame. It's loud as can be. I'll show you. It sounds like a dang dirt bike or something. Just pops off the frame. I'm just going to weld a piece of pipe in there. Listen to this. Quiet now. So I don't think I'm going to weld this piece because this is for my floor jack. But I had a trampoline that broke in the yard, and I think I'm just going to cut this to make it work and just weld it in there, just tack it, and it'll quiet it down a bit. This has a 4-in-1 bucket, which is kind of cool. You don't see many of those or many of these with those. And everything's really simple to get to for the most part with these things. This also has a self-leveling cylinder here. So when you're lifting this, it keeps the bucket at the same level, whatever you had it at. I'm not going to get into all of this really, but I'll show you kind of what's going on down in here. So that's your pumps. You got 2 pumps on this, your battery, and then everything mounts right to where it mounts to the engine. It's your hydraulic tank, and that's it. Really simple stuff. For what this machine can do, I mean, for $5-6 grand, I mean, you can't go wrong. You are going to have to fix stuff as you go, obviously. The tracks I hear are pretty crappy, but whatever. I mean, you just run them till you got to buy new tracks. And that's it. So this has auxiliary hydraulics. And then you got your sticks. My other mini skid that I use for work, I like it better. You don't have two independent sticks. You have your bucket control sticks on one side, and then you have your drive sticks on the other. So you could drive it with one hand if you wanted to. And that also is a 3-pump, so I could run an auger. I could run, not that you'd run an auger while moving, but like you could run a trencher while moving or a stump grinder. Where this, you lose your hydraulic function, your power through the tracks as you're using your auxiliary hydraulics. But that's pretty much it. I'll show you how I tighten these up real quick, and then that's really all the video is going to be. And I'll just tack weld that pipe in. But you saw how much of a difference that made volume wise. All right, and the easiest way to jack these things up is probably just to do this. So you just want to get it jacked up. That way that there's no pressure on that track there. So you can see this one's really pretty loose. The other side's not loose. So I'm just going to tighten this one side here. You just break this lock nut, get a ratchet on there, and tighten it down, and it'll send it down the way. I don't know what happened in the last video, but yeah, I got it tightened up. That should work. And now I'll just weld up that pipe on the other side, and then we're good to go for this thing for now. All right, got my old piece of trampoline pipe I cut off. It's literally an exhaust pipe, basically. And it fits in here pretty much perfectly. And then I'm just gonna think what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna see if I could get my tip of my gun in here and tack. Shoot, I don't know if it's gonna fit though. I could get this in here and just tack it. No, that's not gonna happen. So I might just have to. I'll just weld a piece of like a hanger, kinda. I'll just put just a slight piece of little tiny piece of metal here, and then push this in and just tack it to the frame itself. Then I should be good. So I'll have to find like a little piece of metal and do that. All right, so here's my plan. Whoa, zooming in like crazy. So I got a piece I just have this old Allen wrench I have laying in there. I'm just gonna tack it to this. I'll cut it shorter. I'll just tack it to the frame, and that'll be my bracket. And then that's it. Should be nice and quiet, and we'll go from there.
Dad, you have to move it.
Huh?
It's backwards.
Thank you. All right, let's see. All right, I think that should be good enough. Didn't even end up using that. That should be good enough. Now let's see what it sounds like. They don't want to see my ugly face. But sure. All right, let's start. Oh, back up for me. I'm going to start it, okay? Here, turn the key. This. To the right. Other way. There you go. Quiet. All right, made a big difference. I'm just gonna hit it with some spray paint just so it doesn't get rusty, and that thing's good to go. The lights work. What? Thanks again for checking out this episode. Hopefully this gave you like a brief overview of what these machines are and what to expect when you're looking at them. For the most part, they're solid. You are going to have to do some things to them, work on them here and there. Things are going to break. Obviously, this is cheap Chinese plastic and or metal and all. But for the most part, it's a solid base, I guess. I'd rather buy stuff from America, but at the same time, for $5 grand for one of these, it's hard to beat. I mean, you can pay it off and you do a couple of jobs here and there and get it knocked out. But yeah, so that's how you just do those things. And if you like what you saw, hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. I do all kinds of videos with this stuff, old trucks, old cars, and just old equipment in general. Yeah, I work a good bit. But thank you again, and hit that subscribe button.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Yeah, good job.
And happy holidays. Bye. Subscribe for BeWare, and you can call us whenever you want. All right, bye.
All right, come here. You want to help? I gotta say.